Good morning, I'm Billy Crump. We're at the International Disc Golf Center. This is your Gotta Go game plan. We're gonna get around the course, see if we can let you hear from some of the masters that are here. Well, I'm here with Phil Arthur. He's from the great state of Georgia, which is important this week at the U.S. Masters. Phil, I'd say you'd have to be considered the best Masters player in the state of Georgia right now. You are the current world champ. You are coming off a national tour, actually 2 national tour wins. What are your expectations here on this particular property?
Expectations are kind of put those behind me. I don't have any. I just want to execute and feel good about my shots, and so just waiting for the practice to pay off.
Well, you've been out here. Have you had the opportunity? How far away are you from here, first off? Just because you live in the state of Georgia doesn't mean this is right next door. Exactly.
No, it's not next door. It's close. I mean, it is in the same state, but I'm about 3.5 hours away, so it's not something I can just shoot over and have home course advantage. But yeah, so I'm about 3.5 hours away.
Well, now, considering that all the guys are coming in, this is the first time we've had the Masters on the East Coast. Did you get an opportunity to go out to Cali and play the U.S. Masters before we transferred it over here?
No, I didn't. I really wanted to last year and couldn't make it out. So it was nice that it made it out east this time. So.
Well, we may lose some of our California players, but we should pick up a lot of East Coast players that can't afford to go that way. Right. Anybody you're particularly looking forward to seeing playing with this week that you hadn't seen in a while?
Yeah, well, being on the road a little bit, I've kind of been playing with most everybody. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with Jim Oates and Jay, Kenny, and Barry, and
the rookies.
And Ron, Converse. He's about as good as it gets. And so, and those that I'm not mentioning is just because I'm not thinking about them. But there's a lot of just great talent, and I just look forward to the weekend and having an opportunity to compete with them, play with them.
Well, that's Phil Arthur, and he'll be in the mix before it's over. This is the Tim Selinske U.S. Masters from Appling, Georgia. Good luck this weekend,
Thank you,
Phil.
sir.
Well, I'm here with Brian Graham. Brian, you not only are heavily involved with the PDGA, you're running this tournament this weekend.
I am. I'm asking myself why. Well, I was a tournament director before I was the director of the PDGA, and I enjoy running tournaments, but it's a staff. Everybody's given their all for the tournament, so it's not just me. I'm just the guy whose name is out there.
Well, we are at the IDGC, that's the International Disc Golf Center in Appling, Georgia. This is your home. It's our first time here. I want to ask you a few questions about that. We are really impressed with the facility. How big is the facility? How much property do you guys actually have to work with here?
We have about 120 acres of prime lakefront real estate. Beautiful, beautiful land that Columbia County was kind enough to let us use. We've got this 2,700 square foot building with the headquarters of the PDGA. Nice pro shop, Hall of Fame, Hedrick Museum, snack bar, offices, nice clubhouse people can come hang out in and watch videos from our video archives.
Nice tournament central too.
Oh yeah, we got a little tournament pavilion out there, the Dan Stork Roddick Tournament Pavilion. That's a great place to recreate after the round.
Probably the only TD area after the round I've seen with lights in it already. That's an unusual feature. Now, you were here at the IDGC. What would you say would be the long-term vision of the PDGA for this particular piece of property?
That's a good question, Billy. This is a long-term project. People came to the grand opening 3 years ago, in 2007, April 2007. We opened the place, and they thought the place was finished, and it wasn't. We had just gotten started. Opened the first 2 courses. This is a long-term project. This is the Georgia forest. We weren't given nice green grass parkland. We were given a forest to work with. So, wooded courses generally take several years to develop and become nice. We're 3 years into the project, and the courses are in way better shape than they were a couple years ago. And give us 3-4 more years, this place is going to be a gem.
Well, now, the Tim Selinske U.S. Masters has always been Tim's baby, and he ran it out in California. And this is the first time it's on the East Coast. Are you feeling any different flair from the players? Do you think we'll lose some players from California maybe, but gain some more players from the East Coast? What do you feel the players are taking on the move?
Well, you're right. Tim founded the tournament. This is the 10th anniversary. Tim ran the tournament for the first 8 years, and unfortunately Tim passed away last year, so his friends and co-workers out in Southern California ran the event one more year, and then they decided that they didn't want to do it anymore. So they contacted me. I agreed to run it in this transition year, and then we're going to put it out for bids next year. But you're right, it's always been on the West Coast. So it was kind of West Coast heavy with players. Coming to the IDGC this year, I think we've almost doubled the number of entries from last year. So
nice.
Doing real well. You know, I attribute that to it being on the East Coast for the first time, but also it being at the International Disc Golf Center. A lot of people are looking for an excuse to come to this place, and we gave them one.
Well, we will be here all weekend long. Brian, I know you're really busy. We appreciate your time. And again, this is the Tim Selinske Trophy. Just take a look at the memory we've got of Tim. Thanks for your time, Brian.
Billy, I really appreciate everything Clash Productions, you and Boz do for the PDJ and bringing live video to the PDJ website. And ask all the PDJ members out there to support these guys so they can continue.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Take a look at that trophy. Well, we're here at the IDGC, and I happen to have two of the guys that make your life a lot more fun. This is Harold Duvall. This is Dave Dunapace. They are the owners and creators of the Innova Disc. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Billy, doing good.
Well, this is the Tim Selinske U.S. Masters, and I know we all still have a heavy heart. This was Tim's baby. He nurtured it from the beginning. He got it to where it's at. How weird does it feel for you, Dave, being on the East Coast playing the U.S. Masters for the first time?
Well, of course I missed Tim a lot, but we had already planned to have this tournament come out here before Tim's passing, so it feels good, and it feels like the tournament's going to go on, and it's got Tim's name on it, so it's all real good.
Well, no, I don't know if this is your first time, Harold. I believe you've been to this facility before. What do you guys think of this place, the International Disc Golf Center here in Appling?
It's an amazing home for organized disc golf. They have done so much work out here, and the courses are just so beautiful. And to have three in one spot in a place where a lot of folks can congregate, it's a wonderful sign to show how much disc golf has arrived.
Well, and we certainly have come a long way from the living room floor to now to our building here, along with the three courses.
Yeah, that facility is great. You know, it's got all the old memorabilia and stuff like that, and a pro shop and an office for the PDGA, and it's like it made a real thing out of it. You know, from past years it was like, you know, where is the PDGA? It's a post office box or something. Well, this is a real facility, and it's got real courses, and it's pretty neat.
Well, that's Dave Dunapace and Harold Duvall here at the IDGC. You can see how they do this weekend. Stay tuned right here at thepdga.com.
No pressure.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, I'm lucky enough to be here with Dave Greenwell. Dave, I gave Kenny some love last week about how he had won an event in 4 consecutive decades, and he set me straight really quick. You've also won, starting in the 70s, an event in 4 consecutive decades. Are you planning on playing Open this year and trying to get that 5th decade? Have you even thought about it?
Yeah, boy. To all the above, yeah. I mean, I got 10 years to win one, so hopefully I won't die before that happens, but that's the plan right now, to do it again.
Well, your game's still there. We see you play all the time. I know you got some ailments, but somehow you just work through them, and maybe it's a little more ibuprofen the older we get, but it seems to work for you.
A lot more ibuprofen.
Now, you've been to the IDGC before. You were here, I believe, for the Hall of Fame Classic, and you've seen this place begin to evolve. Give us a concept of your feelings of the International Disc Golf Center.
You know, I mean, anytime you build a course in a predominantly wooded area, you're never going to take out as many trees to start with as you need to. So as for that matter, it's happened here. You know, I mean, they've taken more trees out each year, and each time it gets a little more defined. And, you know, when you're playing any kind of golf, a defined fairway is pretty much what you're looking for.
Well, we've got 3 courses here. Do you have a favorite course out of the 3?
You know, that's tough.
Have you played them enough to even have a favorite?
You know, that's a good way out, so I'll say no, I haven't. But I like them all pretty much, so we'll leave it at that.
Well, now this weekend you're going to be playing in the Grandmaster division, and what number major, if you pull this off, would this be for Dave Greenwell?
Billy, that's way too much thinking for right now.
We're over 20, if I'm not mistaken.
We got a bunch of them. I don't know what they call majors back then. You know, I mean, the Japan Open back when I was winning it in the late 80s and early 90s wasn't really considered a major, but they consider it a major now. So, you know, that's some tough math, and I'm just here to play these courses. So.
Well, that's Dave Greenwell, a little fuzzy from the math, but he knows how to add his score. It's always under par. Dave, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, I'm here with the two-time world champion in the Open division, Barry Schultz.
Oh, boy.
This is the U.S. Masters, and you know, give me a feeling what you're doing here. Is it just because you're eligible, or?
Well, that of course has a lot to do with it. Obviously, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't eligible to play, if I was a little bit too young. But the main reason is, you know, last week was Carolina Clash, and I was there playing, and you know, the Tim Selinske Masters, as it's called now, meant a little extra to me this year. You know, if it wasn't called the Tim Selinske Masters, I may not be down here. I want to check out the IDGC for quite a few years and haven't been able to do that. I'm glad I've done that this year, but I just want to, I'm just so glad that I'm able to be down here and remember Tim the way he deserves to be remembered.
Well, I'll ask you, as I ask the other champ, as we sometimes call you, Kenny Climo, it's going to be different. You're going to be in groups of guys that are having fun. They're not going to be grinding. Do you think it'll affect your play? Will you have to make adjustments? Have you even thought about that?
I really haven't thought about that too much. I don't change too often when I'm on the golf course playing in a tournament mode. I'm pretty relaxed and calm. I do get some intensity, and I can have some trouble controlling that from time to time, but I think here this weekend with Tim's name connected to this event, I think the mojo will be flowing for me this week. I'll try and let everything bounce off me if I have things not go my way, but I think you're right, the guys in my groups will probably help that effect a lot. I've heard guys say for years now, when they made the change from Open to Masters, they enjoyed themselves a lot more, and I don't know if I believe that 100%, but I think I'll get a good taste of it this week.
Well, that's Barry Schultz in his first Masters event. Don't expect him to see out playing Masters elsewhere. He's still on the big tour. Barry, good to see you.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, I'm here with Ken Climo. You may know him as the 12-time world champion, but Kenny, you've got over 20 majors, looking to put another major on the mantle this week. This is your first Masters event ever. Give us an idea of what's going through the champ's mind.
Well, you know, I want to definitely make a splash coming into the division. First time playing it, I feel like these courses treat me well, and I should be able to do something all right out here. I got some good competition, not just because I'm jumping divisions like I'm going to be an easy win for me or anything. There's still some good players out here, and these courses, you know, a few bad shots, and you're in the weeds, and you're not looking pretty good. So it's going to still take some great play to win this tournament.
Well, a lot of people think Ken Climo, Barry Schultz are there. Oh, it's going to be those two guys. But it's a different mindset playing with Masters, and those guys play at a different pace. They don't really grind. Do you think that'll affect your play this week?
No, you know, I know most everybody I'm playing with here because we've been playing for, you know, well, 20 years. Most of us have, and I feel pretty good, pretty comfortable with these guys, and it's just like the old days, you know, same guys I used to play with, so it shouldn't be much different.
Well, I don't know if this is your first trip to the IDGC, but I'd like to get your thoughts. I mean, we've come a long way from the living room of the commissioner's office to our own building, and now we've got 3 courses. What do you think of the facility?
Oh, you know, it's incredible. To have 3 courses on site with possibly more going in the future is awesome. It gets a lot of golf. A lot of golfers can get out here and play. It's really beautiful. It's coming into its own. Fairways are looking a lot better. There's some grass growing in on some of the holes. When last time I was here, it was all mangled dirt and freshly cut trees, and it looks tons better now. I can't wait to get out and play this.
It's Ken Climo here from the Tim Selinske U.S. Masters. Good luck this weekend, champ.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, that's your Gotta Go game plan from here in Appling, Georgia. This weekend, we'll be at the U.S. Masters giving you the updates. Stay tuned right here to thepdga.com for all the action.